Merch Minds podcast episode number 104. My name is Glenn. Yong is here.
Hello, sir.
Last week I wasn't here, but Dale filled in, and awesome show, good stories, and
He's a great guy,
some
man.
laughs in there. So
No, he's a good guy, man. Definitely a fun show. How was Ecom Chicago?
it was good. I mean, it was. I mostly talked about like the eBay and shoe game type stuff. So it was different from Seattle. We did the merch talk. Now we kind of transferred and did this other side. So, but overall it was good. Went kind of quick. A little colder out there. Came back here in El Paso and it's hot. So
Okay. Well, hey, let's. We have a really cool show today. Let's get into our numbers. I'll start. My last 7 days, 81 t-shirts sold, 3 returns, product purchase, $1,831.71. Estimated royalties, $320.56. So, pretty significant drop from last week. I don't know what's going on, man. It's just, again, merch is just a damn roller coaster ride.
oh yeah, for sure. Last 7 days, product sold 116. 4 returns, which I'm happy. Returns went down a little bit.
Yeah, because you were up towards the double digits there.
Yeah, it was getting wild. Estimated royalties $416.14.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. It's pretty steady. I mean, hopefully by the time the day ends, my numbers will be in the $400 range. Got some news, some stuff to talk about. Redbubble just announced earlier in the week that they purchased TeePublic. Did you read that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so pretty exciting for people that's on Redbubble or TeePublic or both. From the email that I read, it sounds like they're both going to be still separate entities. Like Redbubble is still going to be just Redbubble, and TeePublic's going to be, just TeePublic. But I'm not sure exactly what they're doing behind the scenes. I'm assuming they're going to share the traffic. I don't know, but but they're both under the same umbrella now.
Yeah, I mean, who knows like what's gonna happen with? It's almost like when you really look at everything. I mean, Walmart, Target. There's only like a select stores. You see more and more going out of business. Not like like Sears, things like that. I mean, you saw that too, right?
Yeah, Sears was last week.
Yeah, different companies are gonna start combining. Next thing you know, only things left is like Amazon and Walmart.
Yeah. Hey, what if Amazon said, "I want to buy the Hustler Hacks brand"?
So that means they could just take over Hustler Hacks and then I just get paid and I'm done?
Yeah.
Or do I still have to continue to work for them?
Well, I don't know. Hypothetically, if they said, "Hey, we want to fucking buy you out," what would you say?
I would listen to offers.
Okay. All right. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Hey, I don't know if I asked you this. Are you doing adult designs like curse words and all that?
Mostly weed stuff. I haven't really done a lot of
stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they going through?
The ones that I have done, yes, but they're taking way long.
Like you mean they go into review for a couple of days?
Yeah, yeah, they go to review for a while.
Yeah, because I'm starting to do some curse words, some profanity t-shirts designs, and it's making me nervous, man. Because like you said, they're stuck in review for like 2-3 days, and I don't know if they're gonna get rejected or not. And I get really nervous, even though Amazon said it's okay. It makes me nervous, man, because it's like, well, why is it still under review when you said it's okay? So I don't know.
Because I've seen the regular, shirt designs and pop sockets go through easily.
Yeah.
And so when I have these type of things, I'm like, especially waiting for that time, I'm like, do I really want to upload more if I don't even know what's going to happen with these? So it's kind of like,
so what I do is, and I don't know what you do, I usually just upload, because I upload onto multiple products, right? I do t-shirts, long sleeve hoodies and all that. I usually put up the t-shirt first. If that goes through, I'll upload everything else. But it's just, gosh, it's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, especially like different colors too. Like I'll stick with that one, like you said. I'll stick with that one, and then the variations, they'll come later. As long as that first one goes through, then I'm fine.
Yeah, so just want to know if that was just me, or if that's happening to everyone. Etsy is dead. I don't know what the hell.
What happened with that? I mean, I saw you posted that it just came to like complete halt. I don't even know what happened. Like,
Dude, so here's the thing. On average, I would get just, and based on how many products I have live in my store, I have roughly about a 500 now.
okay.
Based on those 500 live products, I would typically get about 2 sales a day,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some days are more, some days are less, but on average, it's about 2 sales a day. For the last 2 weeks, one. I don't know
Mm.
what they did. Something about they changed something in the back end with the shipping and handling stuff. But whatever the hell they did, it killed my sales.
But RJ said the same thing, right? That he was seeing kind of like the same struggles. Like,
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a few days in regards to Etsy. He did mention something. I didn't talk to him in depth about it, but yeah, I mean, even the likes. I barely even
okay.
get likes now. I don't know what's going on. It's again. So this is why we always talk about how Amazon and platforms like Etsy or even eBay. These are not our businesses, right? A business is when we have full control over something, right? We're more like associates or partners. So that's the frustrating thing about doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's really frustrating. Um, People ask me about my KDP. Finally, I got Steve's son caught up, right? Jesus, man. Look, I went over there for the second time last week. I'm like, show me what you're doing, because apparently, whatever the hell you did last time, you didn't do it correctly. It was a minor mistake that he was doing.
Okay. Well, that's
Because,
good. Good.
yeah, basically, what he was doing was, so for KDP, you have to upload PDFs.
Mm-hmm.
He would resize them, and then he was saving them as PNGs.
Mm.
So
Okay.
I got that worked out with him. He's good to go. Um, we're going to get into the interview here shortly, but just one last thing. Next week, I'm going to be in Los Angeles for Manny's baby shower. So anyone in the Los Angeles area, if you guys want to meet up, shoot me a
Take Yong to
message.
lunch.
Take me out to lunch. Buy me a couple of drinks. Um, and maybe I'll call up RJ. Maybe we'll both be there. I don't know. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to call him or not. Um, but yeah, so that'll be next weekend. Let's get into the show. We have a long show, a really cool show. We have uh, Jose Fernandez and my good friend Ruben Lopez. They represent the Hispanic community of Merch by Amazon. Really good guys, and really wanted to talk to Jose as well, because he comes from the industry. Like, he's been making designs for shirts for like over 20 years, right? I mean,
Yeah.
companies like uh,
Old Navy.
Old Navy, a bunch of other big box stores he mentioned. Um, and I know he mentioned he's doing work for like Disney and a bunch of other huge companies. I can't remember, man. Just listen to the interview. Okay, he mentions all that. So yeah, and they have an announcement that they're gonna talk about during the interview. So let's get into that now. All right, guys, we have a duo today. Super cool guys, and let me tell you, man, these are great guys. They represent the Spanish community. We got my good friend Ruben Lopez. Say what's up.
What's up? Hey,
And we just met Jose Fernandez. Very cool guy. How are
Copy that,
you?
guys.
How are you both doing? Introduce yourselves, guys.
You go
go
first.
ahead.
What?
Okay. What's up, guys? So my name is Ruben, and I live in beautiful but expensive San Diego, California. I think we're kind of neighbors, right, Young? You're in.
Kind of. I mean, it's a good 8-hour drive.
Oh shit. Okay, I thought you were, for some reason I thought you were in LA.
No, I'm in the
Wow.
Bay
Okay.
Area.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So I'm in San Diego, and I've been doing merch since September of last year. I do videography. I do websites, and I've been actually doing graphic design for like 10, 12 years. And Jose's probably cringing right now because he's seen some of my designs. But that's another story. Anyways, that's who I am, guys. I'm married. I have a lovely wife, awesome, supportive wife. She's badass, and I have 4 kids: 21, 20, 19, and 18, all girls, and a 10-year-old boy.
All girls, and then a 10-year-old boy. He just kind of slipped in there, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, literally kind of slipped in there.
Cool, man. Jose, how are you, my friend?
I am good. Well, pretty much a lot of people know me in the. I'm pretty active in the groups. A lot of the groups, just giving my tips or my kind of like my little knowledge of merch or what goes on in the apparel industry. But for those who don't know me, I've been doing graphic design for apparel for almost 20 years. I've done work for kids clothing from Carter's, Oshkosh, Gymboree, and most recently I do a lot of licensing work for Disney, Nickelodeon, all pretty much for retailers like Navy, Target, Walmart, JCPenney, all the big stores in the U.S. Most of them, a lot of the stuff goes international too, but I mainly focus in USA retailers, like big box retailers.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit of the smaller boutiques like Think Geek and stuff like that. Nice. And as far as merch, I've been doing merch since October 2016, so 2 years now. Actually, I think it's
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So you basically come from the industry, and this is what you do full time, making shirts.
That's all I do. Like, that's all I know. I'm an illustrator, graphic designer by trade. I'm an illustrator. Like, that's my major. Before I went to illustration for in art school, I was a graphic designer. Like, not professionally, but that's what I was trained for. Like, I was pretty much using Photoshop since Photoshop 3. I don't know. Like, I was like 13 years old, and I was my uncle owns a graphic design firm, so he kind of took me under his wing, and I was like an intern for my entire high school years. So by the time I hit college, I was already pretty well versed on what is the graphic design world. I mean, of course, when you hit college, it's like another level and all the competition. But from there on, like, I just kind of branched out into illustration, painting. And well, now it's kind of like merging of two things. The way I see it, I fell into character design, illustration, and my knowledge from type kind of fell together. By the time I was a senior year, I was doing a lot of like greeting cards and stuff like that. So a lot of recruiters took notice of my style, and I was in between American Greetings and Carter's, which is I don't know, for those who are parents, they're familiar with Carter's. Basically the recruiters were like, hey, we like your style. And I wasn't intended to go anything in apparel. But I mean, whoever put the best offer in the table at that time won. So basically I gotta pay my student loans, right? So I went into apparel, and ever since that was 2003. So ever since, it's like one of those things, like once you join like an industry, it sucks you right in. Ever since, I've been in apparel, like since 2003, pretty much.
That's cool, man. So it just kind of fell into your lap, and you just ever since then, no turning back, and you've been in the industry ever since. That's awesome. Hey, let me tell both of you guys right now, okay? After fucking with RJ for the past year, you guys are a fresh breath of air, representing the Spanish community. I love both of you guys right now. So I'm thrilled to have you guys here.
I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Glenn, did you have any questions?
Oh, well, before we even start with the questions, I know that me and RJ get ragged on because, you know, we're brown, but we don't really speak Spanish. So it's like, these guys aren't
these guys are the real deal, man. They're not like Glenn and RJ. These guys are the real deal.
I need to tell people to speak Spanish to me because I'm pale white. The people don't know.
But you speak Spanish. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, so I'm fluent in Spanish. English is my second language. I mean, you can say more now. It's English just because I've been here so long, since 1999, basically, since I started college. So I'm more like now it's my everyday. Like even when Ruben reach out, it's like you wanna do a Spanish video. I'm like, oh crap, because all my design language is English, so I have no idea how to explain things in Spanish as far as like layout, design terms, and stuff like that.
Yeah, technical shit.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's. I think for me, when I do the English version of whatever I train or if I teach something, it's much easier. It's definitely much easier.
Okay, all right, that feels a little bit better then.
Yeah.
Freaking Glenn.
All right, so let's, well, I wanted to start off just with their merch journey, though. I mean, pretty much both of you started like 2 years ago, right? Technically.
I started last year.
Oh, started last year. Okay. I guess you want to talk a little bit how it's changed, I guess, since you first started to what it is now, and then we can kind of go deeper into like, you know, numbers and things like that.
Jose, you want to start?
Oh, you go first. I mean, we're going alternate, right?
Yeah. So how it's changed from when it started to now?
Yeah, I guess when you first started, you know, I guess we'll start off with this. Like, what were your first challenges when you first started? And have and then since then, have you, I guess, you know, what have you learned from that?
Well, I guess it's what we've all struggled with. I don't want to generalize, but I'm sure that mostly everybody did that stupid thing where we uploaded something that we shouldn't have. My first rejections were Walter White, Pablo Escobar.
Oh gosh.
And actually it was 2 Pablo Escobars that I uploaded at the same time, and then Walter White designs. But so yeah, I mean, as far as learning, yeah, I mean, you learn the hard way. But here's the thing, man. I mean, like you stop. And I say it because lately we've all seen it in groups. I mean, people get rejections and they get, you know, well, they get rejections, but it seems like they keep on pushing it until they get their accounts closed. So I guess not everybody learns, but yeah, I mean, you just have to learn how to freaking read the terms of services, you know, and
yeah,
and follow them. But it is, you know, it is hard, and especially I'm an admin. I run a Hispanic group. Myself, Mirna Gomez is my other admin, and Jose Fernandez is the other admin, and we have around 700 plus members. So I understand. I mean, see, because most of in the English groups, most of the people who are getting their accounts closed, they're foreigners, right? I mean, and so I kind of understand why they're going through that struggle, because we see it in our group, and Jose and I and Mirna, we'll get messages asking us, and they're I don't want to say stupid, because there's no stupid question, but I mean they're really simple questions that they'll send you a design and they'll be like, hey, can I upload this? And it's a Katy Perry picture, and you're like,
yeah. Well, obviously,
are you serious? But then I mean, you understand that, like, well, these guys, I guess they don't know, and it's hard to. I don't know, when you open a merch account in Mexico or Venezuela, I don't know if you get all the information in Spanish or if it's still in English. I honestly don't know. I've never asked. But if it's in English, you know, obviously they're not going to be able to understand all the technical,
sure.
all that, you know. So I kind of understand what these people are going through when they get their accounts closed. But again, I mean, oh my gosh, I remember Erin, Matt's wife. She, like, the first couple of weeks, I mean, without her knowing, she kind of took me under her wing, and she helped me so fucking much. I mean, and I was asking those same questions that people are asking me now. And she, oh my God, I love her to death. She's so awesome. And we don't even communicate that much. But yeah, I mean, she helped me out so much, and she was so nice about it. That's why I try to as much as possible to show grace to others, because that, you know, there was a lot of grace towards me. But, you know, to answer the question, that's what I've learned, that you really can't play with merch like that. I mean, not even not even joking around. You have to be really careful.
Yeah. No, and you know, and I've mentioned this on the show before, where I was like, I honestly believe a lot of people, they just don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know, like they don't know that they can't use the Nike logo. I mean, I think some people do, and they just deliberately do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some people, they just honestly, I mean, it sounds stupid,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome that you're actually taking the time to respond to these questions, as silly as it is, right? I mean, I get messages all the time.
I'm sure.
As silly as it is, I always respond. I always respond. What about you, Jose? You know, how you know, going back to Glenn's original question, in your opinion, how much has merch changed in the last couple of years?
Oh man, like from the mentality of creating designs all the way to we were talking about new rules that Amazon keeps adding. Because I remember when I started 2 years ago, it was almost at that point like where people, it was like still a free for all, but that was the big that Q4 was the big freeze that everybody freaked out, and the band hammer came down and a lot of camps got closed. So at that point, I was still playing with what Amazon was trying to say in their terms of service. It was it still is kind of scripted, like the not scripted. I mean, like kind of like coding, you know, almost like lawyer talk.
It's very vague. Yeah.
The word I'm looking. So at that point, it was kind of like I was seeing kind of like the same mistake everybody does. It's like, well, I see a lot of this stuff. I guess it's okay to upload. So I did my share of things of parody, but I never got hit with it. Like as soon as I knew that I was playing with fire, I kind of took them down. But I did my share of gray area designs, but that's because I was involved already. I did a lot of Star Wars already, so it just came naturally for me to do a lot of Star Wars and Marvel crap. But I never pushed it to a point where Amazon was gonna get me. But after that big freeze, I kind of stay back. But I think the biggest term of change, I think right now, it's the competition and the level. How you mentioned like how it's evolved. The crap that we saw 2 years ago in design, it was much easier to sell something just because the competition was lower. Not only in numbers but in quality. Now we got not only more people, but a lot more designers are joining, and people that are in the industry, and just normal people that started 2 years ago. Just for the fact that they're uploading and designing too, they're getting better, and they're knowing what sells and what doesn't. So it's just like the nature of the beast is people are gonna get better. More competition is gonna join. And it's just kind of figuring it out where your place in merch is. I see a lot of people kind of throwing shit like all over the place, or not in quality, just throwing at random niches that don't know anything about. I don't do that. I just stay within. Kind of have like a map, and I just stick with what I know, and I just don't move out. Like if I see something that interests me, spikes my interest, I might design for something for a niche. But if I see something that just keeps selling for me, I just stay there. Like I don't try to go and see what the top bestsellers are and try to get in there unless I'm trying to find some niche that I want to hit, see where the potential and demand is. But I think that's the main thing, how everything's changing, quality, and obviously the level of quality and the level of sellers that we have now. And I mean, now with ads, I think it adds another layer of complexity to it.
Okay, so hey, you know, we should have done this earlier, but I know we were talking before we started recording. But do you guys mind sharing your numbers? And I know Jose, I'm sorry, Ruben, you want to kind of share your numbers. At first, if you don't mind me saying it, at first you were a little reluctant about sharing your numbers, but then you said you would share it because there's a cool story behind your numbers. And you owe it to Jose, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So first of all, tell us your numbers.
What was that?
You owe me a beer.
Yeah.
Cerveza.
I'll email it to you. Okay, so is it okay with you guys if I share my screen? Because I really
share your screen, but for the podcast listeners, if you guys want to see that, go make sure and check out the video on Glenn's channel.
Okay. Well, you know what? Hold on. I'll just say my last 7 days, and then if you want to go around, and then we'll come back to me so I can share my screen if you want it that way.
Sure. Whatever is
Okay.
easiest for you.
Okay. So I think my last 7 days were like, let's see, 47.
47 shirts sold.
47 shirts, yeah.
Ah, man, Jose, I don't know if I even want to know your numbers, man. Put us to shame, man. What is it?
Well, do you want to know for the month now?
We usually do the last 7 days, but if you want to give us the month and make us look like little chumps, you're more than welcome to.
Let me, because I know my average is around. Oh, it's gone down a little bit, but it was. You heard that? Did you hear that?
I heard it. I heard someone's Etsy earlier too. I was going to ask.
So for the last 7 days, it's I got 501 with 25 returns.
501 shirts. That's nuts. Well, congratulations on both your guys' success. But going back to you, Ruben, you have a cool story that you were telling us, and again, this kind of goes back to Jose. What were you telling us before we started recording?
Absolutely, man. So, like I said, I started back in September of 2017, and around August of this year, my sales have been. Let me show you the graph. I'll share my screen.
Mm-hmm. And again, for the podcast listeners, if you guys want to see this, make sure and check it out on Glenn's channel.
Okay, let me know when you guys can see it.
I can see it.
Okay, all right. So this is October of last year. This is when I started, and this is October of this current year. Okay, so my story is that around this month, around August, I hit up Jose, obviously because as you guys can see, I've been struggling, and you know, this is that freaking pitfall after the damn freeze.
Mm-hmm.
But I hit up Jose like around August, mainly because I knew Q4 was coming around. I knew Halloween was coming around, and I really wanted to kick ass in during Halloween. So I started designing in August, and see, throughout the whole year, I'm gonna confess something to you guys. I fucking hate research. I hate it. It's boring.
I think most people hate it, right? Designing's always the hard part, right? I'm sorry. Designing's always the fun part. Yeah, designing's always the fun part. Research is always just tedious, right?
So basically, guys, bottom line, this is my story, pre-Jose. Okay, this is what is it? Before Christ? It's before Jose. These numbers, because again, Jose started helping me here. I started like I was saying, I was designing for Halloween, and I would I mean, Jose has been fucking awesome, man. And I would hit him up on Messenger and send him my listings, and you know, he'd be like, dude, like this is, it's too complicated, you gotta simplify it. And he would take notes on my designs, and he would send them back. And sometimes because see, the more illustrated designs are the ones that I would fall in love with, because they were pretty cool, at least to me. I'd be like, oh man, there's so much detail. These are gonna fucking kill him, you know. This is gonna kill it. And Hassan would be like, dude, like you gotta simplify it, man. So and in my mind, I'd be like, yeah, sure, Jose. And then I would show him like a really simple design, and he's like, this is what I call a merch by Amazon design. Like this is this is ready to sell. And I'd be like, sure, like okay, whatever. Dude,
good enough. That's why I say good enough for
merch. So out of these 115 shirts, I think it's 70 are from that one simple design.
70 shirts from one simple design.
One simple Halloween design. And all the rest, the one that I thought were gonna sell because we're freaking like detailed and It had color. I mean, I haven't sold none of those. Not one. Okay. So again, you know, I owe this to Jose, and that's my story.
That's cool, man. So this goes back to Jose, who you obviously have the background in the industry. So Jose, any recommendations to the listeners as to what they can, you know, anything to help improve the sales, kind of like what you did for Ruben. What can people do in general?
A lot of what I see, what people send to me, it's a lot of, like Ruben said, it's a lot of complicated stuff, like a lot of detail. They think because detail thinks it's gonna be value. But I come from the apparel industry where we do a screen print. Obviously, try to limit ourselves in screen print colors, so the cost of production is lower, right? So a lot of the stuff that we do in retail, it's low in colors, it's low in detail, just because of the fact that if you want a lot of detail in the mesh on screen print, it's going to cost more, right? So this is back to what's going on in the industry is apparel as a whole. For that fact, that's why retailers, what you see out there, it's simple. It's a lot of like text-based. Character designs are very naive and quick to draw and easy to read, right? It's nothing super illustrative. I mean, super illustrative can sell, but that's an audience that I'm not trying to capture.
Right, it's a different audience.
I'm trying to capture mass market, which is what retailers are. These retailers are. So thinking in that sense of where I come from, where simplicity, I need to be cost effective, low quality, not low quality, low color count, simplicity has to read quick and easy to print. I transfer that into what it's POD. Same, I approach it as my designs were gonna be screen printed, because at the end it looks like the design was screen printed, and that's what the designer wants to see. Like if you put a million colors in a shirt, it just looks like a sticker, because there's no way a professional screen printed shirt. Is that me? Yeah. It's
blown up as we speak.
I know.
Look at this guy. Turn that off, man. It's distracting.
It's discouraging.
So yeah, back to that. It's basically I try to approach it that way, because simple. And just clean, and then you add the another layer that people are not gonna grab the shirt like in a store where they're gonna look it up front and say, okay, I love this detail. Here we're dealing with a thumbnail that's like this big, right?
Sure.
And most of them are looking at mobile. So if you do a lot of intricate design, it's gonna look like a blob, a lot of that stuff, or people are gonna have to click on it to look at the detail. People don't have time to do that shit. They wanna see something, I like that, click on it, send it to the cart, right? So the simpler, the easier to read, the quicker is the buyer to make a decision, I want it or not, or compare it. Because if you have a page of 6, you usually see like the 2 rows of an Amazon if you're browsing in the web, on the laptop or in the desktop computer. You see the row, and it's easier to compare in a row which one sticks out to you or not.
Yeah. No, that's something Glenn and I have been talking about since day one. It's like, just keep your design simple. Like we've seen some stuff that's just really chaotic, and it's just, and I get it. You know, sometimes, you know, you want that kind of a look, like a design that's just really chaotic, but it's not necessary, right, Glenn?
Yeah, I mean, at one point, I mean, we're gonna stop with 4, 5, 6 different fonts. We got some gradients. We got a whole bunch of random stuff going on.
Oh yeah, the strokes and
and not to mention the time you spent. You know, like if you get to you can do more of it. Like if you do something complicated, then you're risking the like I like to say, time is money. So if you spend 3 hours on a design and then doesn't sell, versus the one that you spend 10, 15 minutes and you do a lot of studies of that because it's just quick and simple, then you get your design uploaded faster and see what works or not. If you just waste your time in one simple design and one complicated design and for 3 hours, 4 hours and upload it and then it doesn't sell, I think that you're just losing money on that. Or in designing, time's money basically. So I try to approach it that way. That doesn't mean I don't do complicated stuff, but from my experience, my simple characters blow out of the water versus doing something with fucking shading and 3 shadow colors over. It just doesn't. I do it for the fact that I want to test and see if there's something out there in the market that a demand for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
From my experience, like I'll do 3 different variations of a design: simple, medium res, or quality, and then high quality. The simple and the medium always sells first. Now, that being said, the risk you run with the simple is that a lot of people are going to try to copy it faster.
That is true. Absolutely.
Something more detail is people get more intimidated. But it works both ways too, because I think if you nail the idea with simplicity and the font and the icon or whatever you're trying to portray in your idea, if you nail it with simplicity, it's gonna be hard as hell for the copycat to even interpret that as in a simple way, because it's gonna come out as a copycat. It's gonna look exactly the same because it's so simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they fail. Like I see a lot of people trying to copy what I do, and then they change the font, and the font is completely off. It
doesn't look right.
Yeah. And I say, well, thank you. Now you made mine look better. So I leave them. I try to leave all the copies up and just make the customer make the decision.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so you guys have something really cool that I wanted to talk about here. You guys have a course now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about the course.
Well, we started a course a couple weeks ago, well, like 6-7 weeks ago, and it's a course in Spanish. And one of the main reason we did that again is because I'm sure you guys are aware that there's a lot of content in English. I mean, there's just a lot, and it's all good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not that you guys would ever look for any, but I mean, Spanish content was like close to zero. I mean, nothing. Yeah, there was nothing. And so I would get messages asking me, because I did it a couple times, and then I would get more messages asking me, hey, so and so did a video, can you translate it? And I would do it for them. Neil did a video, can you can you translate it? So all that shit, I love it. I do it for the community because I truly love my community. They're so fucking awesome. They're bad.
And just I just want to throw it out there. I forgot what it was. I posted something not too long ago, and you translated it to Spanish for me, and thank you for that, because Glenn couldn't do it. I don't know what the fuck Glenn's doing, but he couldn't do it. I was like, Glenn, translate this for me. He goes, I can't do it. So thank you for doing that. So yeah, so he does. So Ruben's super cool, but I'm sorry, but go back to the course.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, Yong is in in my group as well, in our group. Glenn, are you in it? If not, I'll
No, I'm in there.
You are, right?
Yeah,
you are. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, I hit up Jose again. Now I'm gonna back up a little and explain why I didn't want to share my numbers at first. And it's for the following reason, because Jose and I, and just like you guys and Matt and RJ, we're just about being transparent and honest, because honesty always wins. But the thing is that the reason I didn't want to share my numbers in the beginning is because of the course. And I didn't want people saying or thinking, hey, why is this guy doing a course when his numbers are so shitty? Well, number one, and this is the main thing I want to make clear. For the Spanish course, the main instructor is Jose. Again, everybody knows Jose. Everybody wants to know what Jose is doing. So I hit him up, and he's the main instructor. Basically, I've told him, dude, I have no problem with letting people know that I'm your assistant, and I'm just his sidekick in the course. I have experience building courses. I've done them before, and I have the time. And Jose, he'll talk a little bit more about his side on this, but Jose doesn't have the time that I have to build all this stuff together and to put it together. So again, one of the reasons was that I didn't want to share my numbers is because of that. But then I realized, well, number one, Jose's been helping me and showing my numbers. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but that's 3.5-4 times the sales that I got after working with Jose. Now,
it's a great testimonial to what Jose is doing, right?
Yeah,
he's putting out great content.
the other thing is that people may say, well, yeah, dude, like you're going into Q4. And we were talking about, Jose and I were talking about this earlier today. People think that Q4 equals automatic sales. And it doesn't.
I'm not doing crap right now.
Well, it's okay. Well, and there's one example. You saw my Q4 last year, October. I mean, I sold 30 shirts, right? When there's less competition. So Q4 doesn't guarantee you sales. And so I realized, I was like, wait, I'm doing something right. Like whatever Jose taught me, I'm putting it into action and I'm doing something right. And one of the things I was talking to my daughters earlier today is that last night I was researching. I mean, I was actually freaking researching, and I was like, wait a minute. I've been researching for the past couple of weeks now. Like, and I didn't even know it. Like, it didn't bother me.
You know? Like finally clicked. It clicked finally.
Exactly. It's, you know what? Now, okay. So before I would get an idea, and I'm sure a lot of people do this. You get an idea, or you see you see a shirt, or you see something, and you get an idea, and I would come back home and I would start drawing it, and then I would vectorize it, and then I would upload it, and then I'd be like, oh shit, I need to do some research. Right? I was doing it freaking backwards, but that was my instinct. You know, as soon as I got the idea, I would draw it. And now I noticed that the first thing that I do is I go to Amazon search bar and I start researching. So again, that's one of the reasons I didn't want to share my numbers, but I saw that there was value in it, so I decided to show the numbers.
And thank you for doing that, by the way.
No problem, man. My pleasure. So, you know, again, guys, Jose knows what he's doing, and again, the course is in Spanish. Yong, I told you that we had an announcement today, and again, even though there's already content in English out there, Jose and I decided that we are gonna do that same course. We're gonna do it in English, and here's why. Everybody, see, we have great content out there. We have Matt, RJ, Glenn, you, Neil, Jacob. I mean, we have a lot of guys. I call them the big dogs, right? I call you guys the big dogs. But it never hurts to learn from somebody else. Because, I mean, even if there's one thing that person says and it clicks and it helps, we've done our job. Mm-hmm. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And one of the things is that in my, I mean, because, you know, people are going to talk shit anywhere and everywhere. And yeah, so people were talking in my group. They were asking me, like, dude, like, you know, why do I need this? Why do I need the course? Why? And it's simple. The answer is freaking simple. If you would open a business, a physical business, the first thing that you need to do is, you know, besides getting the all the money together, and you need tools. You need tools to run your business. I don't care if it's you know, programs. I don't care, whatever business you're in, you're always gonna need to invest in tools, and that's why we created the course. It's another tool that I know for a fact that can help you out.
Yeah. So, and this is something that I asked you behind the scenes, and Jose, if you wanted to chime in, please feel free. But one of the questions that I asked is, you know, there's a lot of courses out there, right? And they're great courses, right? And I know what some listeners are probably listening right now. Oh gosh, they're talking about another course. and I get it. There's courses out there.
Yeah, it's a course saturation right now.
But the thing is, you, Jose, you're actually working in the industry.
Yeah,
this is the one time that people can actually learn from someone who's doing this in the industry, not like what we're doing, right? Kind of like a part-time, half-ass kind of a thing. You're actually
doing like my life. It's pretty much my life for the last 20 years.
So why don't you go ahead and chime in on that? I mean, and the fact that you're teaching the course, you know what you're doing. You've been doing this for over 20 years.
Yeah. So basically, on the side of Ruben, he starts off with the very basics. So his side, he does a lot of the instructing for the beginners. Like, so you're even if you're in tier 10, maybe to 100, that's his videos are the ones you have gotta see in the terms of how to upload the ins and out of merch, the platform itself, the platform for uploading,
Basically, Jose,
trademarking. So I don't touch any of that. I don't because I jumped right into the meaty part of the course with Ruben. Like we and Ruben do an interaction session where it's how do I find a niche and how do I scale or find another sub niche that's not oversaturated, and how do I find out if that niche is worth uploading or not. Because I see, like, but going back to Ruben said, he was constantly designing, but he wasn't researching. So you see something out there and say that's cool, I'm gonna upload it, but then he didn't take the time to research. Whereas saying if he found something cool, then I will go into Amazon first and see what the demand for that kind of stuff is. If I see the numbers are there, then it's worth my time designing for it. If I don't see there's a lot of activity within that niche, I just drop it. Even if it's a cool idea, even if it's I got the keywords, I just don't bother with it. So in my area, I go organically with Ruben. Like we don't go in with a script or anything. It's like video is very organic, and I just go in as like, let's go find a niche that's gonna make me some money right now, and it's gonna be organically. I'm not gonna do any tools that you pay for. Is that everything's done within Amazon, and how to find that niche that's gonna provide you, and how to identify based on BCR rankings and the looks and the style and the overall aesthetic of the design. Like, how do I identify that winning design? And from there, I'll analyze the top sellers and why they're selling. I don't care if it's selling because of the price or the color or is it on a premium or a standard, whatever. I go in and analyze why is it selling. Maybe it's the lack of competition. There's nothing better. There's nothing. 90% is because the design is selling. Is because the designs around it is not there's no better option. It's just nothing better for the customer, right? So a lot of people fall into the trap of I'm just gonna do the little I'm just gonna improve it a little bit kind of thing, and that's not it. It's like you need to give the customer another option in regards to the entire look, because if the person wants to buy yours, fine, but then like leave the other alone. The other one has its space too in Amazon. Is that the way the mentality emerged? It's I gotta take over his sales. Like I don't want to compete with Ruben's stuff. I want to have his stuff sell while mine sells to a specific customer, right? So how do I do that? And I want to go in there, and one of the courses, part of the courses is how do you identify that, and how do you move from looking at stuff in merch and just forget about it and start looking outside of merch. And all that research at the end comes together organically and nicely into one cohesive design that not necessarily might look like the top seller, but it's a good contender to be a good seller within that niche. It's a good option. I don't want to fall into the trap again of what people tend to say a lot. It's just take this design, change the font, tweak it a little bit, and it's good to go. That's not what I do. That's not what I like to do. Sometimes the design itself is just a typography only. So what are you gonna do? Right? There's not much you can do with type only design. So when it comes to like something more intricate with layout and design involved, I try to teach that approach into how do you put yourself in the mindset of how can I improve the design without even having to look at it. Close it down, don't look at it, do your research, see what sells, see what the customer is reacting to, and do your own thing. And it's hard because if you don't know design, I understand it's harder. But I think once you do it enough, you start seeing it. And I go with Ruben and I go, this is why this one's selling. This is why this one's not selling. It could be the price and then added the element and all that stuff that in combination as a whole makes it a good seller versus what's not a good seller, basically. And as long as you know how to identify those key points, I think you're good. Like I always tell Ruben, like I told him, simplify, because I also look at the competition. I mean, the design could be great, but if the competition it's just poor or better, then it's not going to be much. You're not going to create an impact in the water on the side. It's more of the same. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So again, guys, that course will be released in English. When's that going to come out?
Okay, well, here's the thing. We wanted to announce here
exclusively. You can only find this kind of information on the Merch Minds podcast.
Absolutely. We wanted to announce that for the next 48 hours, we're doing a pre-launch. For the next 48 hours, we're going to launch the course. And the pre-launch means that the content is not available yet. When the course fully comes out, the price is going to be $197. And but for the pre-launch, again, for the next 48 hours, we're going to offer it for $147. Again, content is not available yet, but I promise you that you want to jump on this as soon as possible, because one of the things that we are planning to do is on both courses, the Spanish and the English one, is that we're going to keep adding stuff. It's literally never ending. It's evergreen. And we're going to be updating. We're going to keep adding more videos, more content. And just listen, the more content and the more videos we add, and we also we want to do collabs. We want to ask other people to join and share a module, share the knowledge. But again, the more modules, the more video, the more content, the higher the price. If you lock it in, if you take advantage of this offer and jump in for $147, any content that comes in the near future, it's going to be yours at no extra cost. I mean,
no extra cost. So
extra cost.
So this is a pre-buy for the next 48 hours. You're locked in. They promise to add more content as your merch business grows, and they get access to both you guys, correct?
Yes. Immediately they get access to a bilingual Facebook member private group. And also I want to throw out there that courtesy of vexels.com, and I'm not getting paid to say this, we're also throwing a bundle of in the niche of camping vectors. We just got one for the Hispanic group, and they gave us more than 100 vectors, and they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the quality of those.
Yeah, so we're also going to throw in for the first 48 hours. We're going to throw that in a bundle of vectors in the camping niche. So yeah, again, for the next 48 hours, the price is $147. The content will be thrown in there between now. Between now and middle of December. But again, I mean, you guys have to take advantage, because we've been talking back and forth, Jose and I. I mean, and with all the content that we're gonna put together, I mean, we're thinking that the price could go up to $397, $497 for the course with all the content that we're gonna offer. So, I mean, literally, you're getting for half the price. You're locking it, and you're not gonna pay any more money for all the content. Now, I just want to go back a little to back to what Jose was saying. My part in the course is, and I hope all the admins don't get pissed at me, Matt, RJ, you. Basically, what I did, guys, was I took all the questions, all the newbies ever asked in the groups, and I answered them in the video, because they really need to understand that. So my part of the video, if you're an absolute new member into merch, maybe like Jose was saying, merch tier 10, 25, 100, maybe even 500, you need to see my part. Anybody else, I mean, you can go straight, and I'll straight up telling you, tier 1000 and above, you can straight up skip my part and go into the meat, go into Jose's modules. But I don't teach any of the like, this is how you sell. These are the key. This is how to, all of that. I leave it up to Jose, because he's the one who's got the numbers. He's the one who's got the experience, and all my stuff is just the very, very basic.
Okay,
and
cool.
You mentioned the bonus. You mentioned the bonus that we had before is the way we drip the content. It's in the what we did the Spanish version. We did a bonus version where it's how to apply what I talked to with Rubens when the interaction on my video where I'm teaching how to find it. I touch the same subject, but I then do a video. How do I do it for myself? And you see live, kind of over the shoulder, how I'm applying all that stuff that I just explained to everybody. How do I attack it like myself? Like how do I approach that, and how to using the same niche. I'm not changing everything. It just gives a little bit more clarity.
Uh-oh.
We lost you.
We lost you there for a second, but basically, I think what you were saying, Jose, was it's an over the shoulder bonus video, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's over the shoulder, and it goes from finding the niche, the design, all the way to research outside of Amazon and finding a good aesthetic design style that it goes with the Amazon customer, all the way from thumbnail sketches and designing and uploading and ads. Because after that, we decided to add ads too, because that's another layer that Amazon added. And the point is to show how I go from zero to uploading into a potential sale.
Cool.
All recorded.
Awesome.
We already have the Spanish version available, so I'm planning to do a whole different version as bonus content hopefully for the English version. So basically, it's like a different same approach. It's just a different niche and how I will approach that.
Okay, great. So we'll have that link in the show notes. So again, guys, this is a pre-purchase. Okay, Jose and Ruben just said that the course is they're working on it. It'll come out sometime between now and December. So, but it's important that you guys lock in the price and buy it now. Guys, I want to thank you both. I know. Jose, you're in the East Coast. You're in New York, so
yeah.
It's a bit late. It was getting late.
It's just
I appreciate both you guys' time. I know both of you guys are very busy. Any last words?
Oh yeah. Please. Now, again, we were talking about it earlier. The course, this course, any course. It's not for everybody. Our course is not a magic wand, okay? It's not that magic pill that's gonna automatically increase your sales. It's got the potential if you commit to it, if you're responsible, okay? The other thing is, if you go into the landing page of the course, you'll see all the modules and the titles and everything, so you can get an idea of what's coming, right? But if you're the type of person that goes into a landing page or a sales page and the first thing you're looking for is there a refund, please don't buy the course. It's not for you, I promise, because you're already looking for an out without even trying.
Yep.
So, I mean,
that's so true.
I would love your business, but if you're going into this with that mentality, I promise you it's not going to work for you. And just save your money. Please don't spend your money with us. So yeah, I mean, it's got the potential to help you out if and only if you put in the time. You know, the only guarantee that we can give you is that we can guarantee you that nothing's going to change on your side if you don't change your behavior, your work ethic, and
that is so true.
I believe that with this course, we can help you out. Whether you're starting out. In the Spanish course, we started promoting it only for tier 1000 and under, and we had people from tier 6000 buy our course, tier 4000, tier 2000, and again, you can see the testimonies in the landing page. The person from tier 6000 really surprised me. I mean, because I was thinking, well, if you're in tier 6000, you really don't need this. You know, or tier 2000 and above. I mean, you're doing something right because you're in tier 2000. And right away, they shut me up and they were like, Ruben, you need to open this for everybody because like it's really good content. So that's why we decided to open it up for everybody. And listen, guys, if you're doing good sales, don't worry. I mean, don't buy it. You got it.
Yeah.
Right?
Save your money.
I mean, yeah, save your money. But if you're struggling a little bit, and one of the other things that I want to say is that I truly believe that this course will lay a solid foundation in you. Okay, one of the themes or one of my sayings for this course is that in order to break the rules, you got to learn the rules. Well, that's what I think that we're teaching you guys. We're kind of teaching you the rules. All like Jose was saying, all organically. You're not going to go into the course and you're not going to find us teaching you how to do research with Merchant Former, which we're not bashing Merchant Former. The only thing that I'm saying is that if somebody buys a course and then all they see is that we're using paid tools, they're going to be like, shit, I just invested 147 in your course and now I have to pay. Yeah, and people would get pissed, right? And rightly so. But all we're doing is organically. All the research and everything is just organic. But we are gonna, like I said, our updates are gonna be pretty cool, and we will have more content to share with you guys.
Well, I appreciate both of you guys again for being here. And hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to mention that he mentioned the foundation. This course is the time to, especially if you're struggling, this is the time for, it's like a reset button. Kind of like forget what you've been learning or what you've been reading, and it's almost like a reset, and just try to undo everything you learn, and just look at it from our perspective, and just take it as you will. Like you might find it's not for you. Maybe you find that Merchant Former works better, but at least look at the way we do it, and just like a little reset button on how we do research, or how I do research, and how to I approach it. So I think it's like a fresh perspective of research, and it doesn't rely on the technicals of finding keywords or analytics. It's just fun having an eye for it and just finding stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people get frustrated is, people talk about keywords and the analytics, and all that could be really overwhelming. So I'm really looking forward to the course, man. I want to thank both you guys. Thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure, again, talking to both of you. I'll have everything in the show notes. Glenn, any final words to our guest?
No, then we're good to go. We'll have everything set, ready to go on YouTube and on the podcast. So we'll be set. But thanks again for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you so much.
What'd you think, Glenn?
Yeah, I mean, super cool, guys. I like the idea of just even bringing merch, in Spanish. And I know they had approached me, and like I told them in the interview, me and RJ too in the beginning. I was like, yeah, this Spanish is rough, so you don't want any of that on any of your interviews.
Yeah, I'm gonna release a course next week in Korean. That's true. You laugh, but it's coming out next week.
All right, we'll wait on that then, Yong. Let's see how.
Oh, great guys, man. It was a pleasure talking to both of them. It's funny because I have conversations with Ruben all the time on Messenger, but to actually talk to him and face to face, that was cool.
Screen to screen.
Screen to screen. But anything before we go?
No, I mean, me and Yong have to figure out what's gonna happen for next episode, since I think we're gonna be out and about, but we'll keep you guys posted. What was that?
Where are you going?
Wait, undisclosed. We'll keep that for after the show. Okay.
Undisclosed. He's going somewhere, and then obviously I'll be out of town. We'll figure something out for you guys next week. We guarantee there will be a show.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys.